Perhaps Abacha also wanted to take out Abdul Salam
Of
and Babangida before he died.
Of course. You can see programmatic elimination or possible opposition to Abacha presidency. I mean, it started with Abacha, with the officers that were both in the army, they were being eliminated. The man that was always talking, General Olusegun Obasanjo, the man that has political ambition, Shehu Yadua, he was taking them step by steps until he got to position of General Diya. And there were insinuations that are already plans for Abubakar before that death of Abacha. And some people insinuated that it was probably because of what General Abacha planned to do to General Abubakar, that probably General Babangida too, that later resulted to revelations that we were seeing about Abacha. And you want to ask yourself, why is it only the Abacha regime, in all the regimes that has been in Nigeria, that we have recovered his money, that we have concrete evidence that he took away money from Nigeria? Why? You see that this nation may not be far from the truth.
Is Abacha's death mysterious?
Well, I don't think that it is mysterious. I think it is a planned work. That's one thing that is not in this book that I'm not just getting to know. You know, all these generals were like pawns in the chessboard of the international players. I mean, the international global hegemony. It's like they are being programmed, to accomplish certain purposes. I think some people somewhere took the decision that for Nigeria, for the interest to be perpetuated and defended in Nigeria, that two key actors must go. MKO Abiola and General Sani Abacha. What I found interesting was both of them died the same way. There were insinuations that there were foams in their mouth and the rest of it. I mean, not that they had any serious sickness. Abacha had been sick severally, but at that particular, not that he had any serious illness. It's just like Abiola took his own tea and before you know what, he was dead. And the same thing happened to Abacha.
But for Abacha, he was protected. So, if anything happened to him, an insider must have been involved.
Yeah, you see, I told you I moved with generals, and I was told things. Look, from what I know of the military, incidentally, I have my PhD in Defense and Strategic Studies. From what I know in the military, we are like four in this room, right? From a teacup, I can serve, and don't let me use myself. We can all be served with tea from the same teacup, and only one will carry poison. That not detectable poison. There are such things. So that your protection is not about the armor vehicles, the troops that surround you. But it's a complex thing.
Your cook can be an agent.
Oh, they have a way of getting their job done. They have a way of getting their job done. And so if you talk with generals and you know what has happened, you will be shocked. So don't think you are safe. It's from the same cup we are being served. You are wrong. There are specially designed cups, teacups, that serve one. The one you get to the one you want to kill, there's a further way you press this. When you want to serve, there's something you press that will release the tea. There's a way you press it that will inject poison.
Abacha should know this.
Well, you should know, but you see, there's a way that when time has come, what will just form victim. How about Abiola? Abiola too knew about all these things, and yet he was a victim.
In his own case, he was a prisoner.
Even as a prisoner, there were efforts to kill Obasanjo too in prison. Shebi escaped. Shebi, we knew how Shiadua died, how he was ejected. Obasanjo was going to be ejected, and he has been advised not to take it. and Ghanaian was to be injected. He escaped. I mean, several examples. There will be information. Yes, sir.
Let's recommend some books to you. You can read more on some of the subjects we have discussed. This is the book we have discussed, Destiny Anchored on Faith. The Story of General Oladipo Diya, written by Dr. Oluranti Afowowe. It's a book you should read. It's a book you should read. Now, there are books here written by Mark Siolun. Mark Siolun entitles this book Nigeria's Soldiers of Fortune, the Abacha and Obasanjo Years. It's a book you should read. It will broaden your knowledge of politics in Nigeria. Nigeria's Soldiers of Fortune, the Abacha and Obasanjo Years by Mark Siolun. Mark Siolun is also the author of the book Soldiers of Fortune, Nigerian Politics from Buhari to Babangida, 1983 to 1993. Soldiers of Fortune. This is a classic. It will help you understand where Nigeria is coming from. It will help you understand today and open you up to tomorrow. Soldiers of Fortune, Nigerian Politics from Buhari to Babangida. He also wrote another book, What Britain Did to Nigeria. Remember, in this discourse, we went back to Everard, who recommended Babafemi Ogundipe. Everard was a British officer who headed the Nigerian army at some point. This is a short history of conquest and rule, What Britain Did to Nigeria, by Mark Siolun. It's a good book. It's a fascinating new study, and it offers cogent analysis of the development of slavery and the lucrative trade in rubber and palm oil and the wholesale exploitation involved. Have you read this book, Fellow Countrymen, The Story of Coup d'etats in Nigeria, written by Richard Akinola? Fellow Countrymen, The Story of Coup d'etats in Nigeria, written by Richard Akinola. These books will open you to a new world of knowledge, and you will interrogate the past and understand the present. Then Tony Falola wrote a book entitled Understanding Modern Nigeria, Ethnicity, Democracy and Development. We looked at ethnicity as a critical factor in choosing who becomes the Chief of Army Staff. In this work, Falola defines ethnicity, explains the consequences and the structures that encourage ethnicity. He looks at democracy and development. It is an understanding of Nigeria. You will find these books on udarabooks.com. And remember this, by my guest, Destiny Anchored on Faith. Destiny Anchored on Faith. Who did you write this book for?
Well, it's the biography of General Oladipo Diya. And it was published by Evans Publishers.
And who should be reading this book?
Well, it's for Nigerians generally to be well informed, and for any student of history, anybody who wants to know why we are where we are, and now we can move forward from where we are, even having the understanding of what has been, then you'll be able to make projection into the future.
Are we reading enough?
No, that's what is bad. Our habit of reading is bad. It's horrible. And we, as a nation, we cannot move forward. You know, one further component was this age of digitalization. And even in the Western world, where they thought the ultimate had come, that there's now a replacement from book to e-book, they have suddenly found out that there is a mirage. That's not true. There is no replacement for books. And so that's why countries like Switzerland, Britain, has to be re-evaluating their curriculum now, so from moving from tablet back to books, that they have to be budgeting also to recoup libraries, because they discuss that a lot of distractions come to, and that students no longer read as they ought to do when they are having physical books.
Thank you for writing this book.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Oluranti Afowowe, thank you for featuring on State Affairs.
It's my pleasure. You've been a wonderful host.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.